Wow, Otis, I can't believe you pulled a 3-star. Hey, welcome back to more Limbus Company. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we finished up Canto 6, and this time we will be maybe beginning time killing time. I don't actually know. Actually, no, we'll do Walpurgis. But first, we have some things to grab. So right away. Foul is very Mao. And in addition, load of Hongyuan Honglu.
홍원의 가장 높은 곳에선 대관원이 이렇게 보이는군요. 이제 거칠에는 그만두도록 하지.
Now that Lord Honglu is one that I'm not going to be. Well, I will I'll be uptying it, but I'm not going to show the story for uptie 3. Okay, we can actually get pretty decent on that. But let me double check how much thread I have. I think I have around 400. Yeah, we need 50 more. So for that, let's spend some Dawn. What do we have for Dawn? We do have Kuna Hatred. Yeah, we're good to sell all those for thread. And, what we're going to do is, we're gonna actually change our team name for once. Whew. That be our sinking team, and we'll set up Rupture here. Alright, we'll grab High Show, and Hello Show. Plus, you guys. Right. Ah, shit, we actually needed 5. I guess-ish. We'll just do that. It's fine. So, we'll right away.
각 필두는 들어라. 너희의 죽음은 지금 몹시도 불쾌함을 참을 수 없다.
The uptype story for this is long as fuck. And also very story spoiler for Canto 8. So we are going to skip that for the time being. We will eventually return to it. But we'll go with Mouse. I understand your point. Is the management Faust's insinuation my unrestrained stubbornness is due to the fact that I am a simple-minded, uneducated swordswoman? Is that what you are implying? It is not. The intent behind that expression I observed exists still, though embellished by flowery language it has been. Whichever is the case, the Excelshop's justification for that request, that I must reconsider my decision after further observation of its intelligence, is understood. But I refuse nevertheless. I have about 2 justifications for this decision. First, Gesellschaft provides a distractingly overabundant amount of information. Most of them are unnecessary as well, as learning my lord's teachings takes up a great majority of my days. Moreover, there is a dearth of freshness in the intelligence provided by Faust, and an overwhelming majority of them are far too utilitarian. Over-reliance on such information will set me on the wrong path, as has happened to other Fausts, and such a thing should not be allowed to pass. Second, it does not matter what information you share with me, the judgment will not change. Faust knows it all, is that correct? Then you must also know the reason behind my behavior is. Or is that not exactly true? Faust only knows everything that Faust knows, but does not know what Faust does not know. Same could be said of any random passerby in the streets of Hongyuan. To know the responsibility to illuminate you falls to me, the student of an excellent teacher. It happened one night, in the brilliant moon-like artificial light. Back then, I was confident in my blade. I was of the belief that, as long as I had a sword, I could endure any kind of hardship. That's why I did not feel the need or the will to access the cell shaft, nor for learning. That's why I first encountered my lord. Well, kind of hard for us to chat when you swing your sword so violently like that. You jest. Explain to me that you are not having difficulties with matching my strikes. I'm not kidding. No, you've really given me no time to speak. You not jest, then I best start with myself for now. But I guess a burning question I want to ask you, style will do. Do ask. What do you like, Miss Faust? Not just an apt subject for discussion between enemies locked in battle. Or perhaps it is but an attempt to waste time. What reason could I have to do something like that? I've already taken your lord's life, you see. You're an abbot from the Mao branch, visiting Yihongwan every night to captivate my previous subordinates' lives. The more I thought about it, the more did I realize that I know so little about you as a person. Except for this little detail. Given that you're still living as Vis, the Pinky Cock is still waiting for the right conditions and time to convene, Miss Faust. Or should I call you the Tianju Star? Your plane stopped. You don't expect me to ask that? You want to move on from the subject? Can you please answer my question from earlier? What do you like, Miss Faust? Blades. More intimidating and mighty, the better. Wowzers, that is so like you. But that wasn't what I was asking. It was more like a question of frustration, you know? Miss Faust, you focus only on what you're good at. You never seek out knowledge outside your expertise. You never try to learn new things. Learning can bring you to new paths, unparalleled paths that no one could even dream of following. It's doubtful that there is much value in the act of questioning. Of course there is. Unlearned as I may be, my path has never been limited. Nothing stops you, does it? Shouldn't live up to your nickname. But however strange you may be, there are paths you do not want to tread. Come work on me, Miss Faust. It can teach you so many things. A righteous cause, a battlefield, the means to utilize your qualities. What is it you wish to do here in Honyuan? Honyuan, as it is now, is but a pale imitation. The hierarchy is unlike a hierarchy should be, and families are unlike how families should be. So I intend to make everything right. What Honyuan needs is... I decided to follow my lord upon hearing his reply. No, stop with your inquiries. Many times must I explain that I'm already aware of that. I'm already aware of my lord's questionable behavior. Most aware of the fact that my lord has prepared an ambitious plan for the family hierarchy evaluation. I know all these things. I know that he has wielded the favor gained as the precious jade of Dong Yuan, the gem of the Jia family, like weapon to one by one obtain everything he has ever pursued. I know that he has seduced the daughter of the Shui family, for whom there is no place in his heart, to have many of your family's secrets. I know that his care for me is but a tool, that he gives him access to the knowledge of the cell shaft. I don't need to hear this from Faust. I know them. He commits ruthless violence with the great cause of rectification of names. Even still, I cannot abandon my lord. A false virtue as it may have been, it has changed me still. In the city, where even false charity is a rarity, there is much to be learned from the lord. Miss Faust, can I talk to you for a moment? Yes. I just had a little chat with this guy. He's with is an unrighteous person who's been bringing some great yet undeserving and excessive, to Hong Yuan. People keep worrying about so much disturbance for trying to wield something that's beyond their capacities, right? So can you please go meet the person and give them a little warning? You got decorum and appropriate propriety, of course. The way of conquest is way still. The main of righteousness is a form of righteousness still. It's nothing. Yours is my command, my lord. And don't let me distract you from whatever you're doing. We got other stuff to do anyways. Don't forget to say hello to the other Faust for me. He was from waiting for my reply. Intentionless and needless. It's becoming of a noble one. Don't let assumptions bog her down, even if there may be truly venom in my lord's heart. I will not relay his greeting to the Fausts. That must be what Faust wants as well. Ending the report. I'm so interested to learn what the deal with Faust's Discord is. Like, what is going on with Faust's Discord server? We'll move on over to C. Gregor. Man, it was all just a lie. I was again seriously gonna replace my arm with an actual snake. Very funny. Just thought I'd listen to the guys who made it up first. Sheldon passively inspects his mutated arm, growing pensive. Was it because the 7th procedure did not result in the changes he was expecting? His arm became more flexible, and the venom coursing through his veins had become even more deadly, but it wasn't all that impressive to the child, whose emotions had been dulled and eroded by the Haisho bolus. Will you excuse us? The Haisho Jianren bestowed us a bolus. The child, who was still investigating his changed arm, looked up curiously at the other Haisho entering to use the bolus. It was odd. New boluses already? It hadn't been that long since they received the last batch. That's when they were accompanied by a small crowd that was soon to be converted into snakes. Well, it's already time to marinate the newcomers. It didn't take long for the child to realize what was going on. Yes, well, I scored a few snakes last time during your last Lord's half-baked orders. Once the next family hierarchy evaluation had begun circulating in Hong Yuan. Prominent candidates used their high show pack more strategically, but certain lords who happened to get a hold of the leash by sheer luck used the high show too haphazardly. If you don't want to take on an army, you should use those cockfighting roosters' leashes. I was thinking throwing a bunch of snakes at a full throttle assault. No wonder we suffered so many losses. I shall cannot defy their lord's orders. Even foolish orders like the one from the last lord, who ordered the assassination and ambush of specializing snakes to attack in the open. Of course, since it's extremely difficult to gain control of any branch of the high show, most of them try to use them carefully. But like all things, there are always exceptions. Oh man, come on, fellas. A long face. You're all getting bestowed with those precious bullishes today, aren't you? Some snakes began to grow visibly uncomfortable upon hearing the child's conversation with the snake. So the child stopped, thought for a moment, and attempted to alleviate some of the palpable tension. At least give me a few pointers. Let's see. I got no idea this applies to all high show bosses, but you do not want to drink the Shibo solution, okay? One time there was a guy who grew a bit impatient with the process, so he tried to chug the Shibo solution, and let's just say it wasn't much use to us anymore. The tensions were too severe. Just relax and soak it in, huh? You don't have to do anything. Not like you're sawing your arms off. Oh, remember to take it slow at first. Take some time getting used to how squiggly your arm can get. I swear, getting tangled up was a real mess. They were certainly helpful, but rather cold. Silence in the room grew even more awkward. The child scratched his hair for a bit, before slowly turning to the other snake to change the subject. We're supposed to be on a different mission for our Lord today? A different snake is on standby, having volunteered to take the assignment instead. With our Lord's approval, of course. Yeah, I got a feeling I know who that snake might be. I'll over there too, just in case. If she's infiltrating the infamous Xiao family, won't hurt to have an extra snake to back her up. I have a feeling this would happen. It's not just newborn snakes. It takes a while to realize their place. The child reads the mission written on the bamboo scroll before letting out an exasperated chuckle. The mission was to find a small hermitage called the Pina Hermitage, and to decapitate everyone on the list. However, the child knew that the exception clause written in small letters at the bottom of the instructions was the most important part of the mission. We're going to target not on the list, crush their head. So a fellow snake hesitating before a young boy, a candidate. The boy was tearing up. The child watched in silence, but when he noticed the other snake's eye focused on the boy's neck, he moved his arm without hesitation. The arm slithered across the ground like a snake before coming to a quiet stop behind the candidate. Let's see, it's a downcut from this angle. Nah, not definitely. The pole in the child's hand suddenly leaped forward with a swift strike, and penetrated the young candidate's skull as precisely and easily stabbing through an inner apple. The strike was quick and silent. There's no room for emotional judgment in this motion. The child carefully saunters up to the other snake, who had stood frozen, her eyes trembling with shock. Blech. Chats her up. I just realized pretty much how the situation handled. I just jumped the gun, did I? My bad if I did. The child understands how his fellow snake feels. He's been a beast of the high show for a long, long time. He knew exactly what this newcomer wanted. It was simply that he could not empathize at all with what she felt. I just had to wrap up the mission before it went awry. Then he let the incident slip away like a snake, pretending to be ignorant about what she was about to do. Until the other snake to return home. He'll take care of the report. The child wasn't exactly looking out for her. He simply found it unnecessary to point it out. He might have hesitated, because she's only on her first procedure. Another procedure will take care of that problem. Oop. The child's ruthless, unfeeling words betray the casual cadence with which he muttered them. But his expression is utterly neutral, his gait unaffected. Perhaps this reason was the reason this child was able to survive all those missions to the point where he was receiving his 7th procedure was because he sucked of nothing more than a tool in the hands of others. Being nothing more than... She branch is the only one that we're missing. Or Roja is the only one we're missing. Now, in terms of what I want to do, I'm not actually certain. I do want to change things up a little bit, but I don't exactly know how I want to do that.
일러주신 적은 처리되었습니다. 다음으로 뜀박질할 곳을 알려주시겠습니까?
One night in Hong Yuan, brightly lit under its artificial light. The child's yellow eyes glimmer menacingly in the shadows as she stares down at the thief. Done running? It's embarrassing to watch. I knew that the malware was supposed to be fast, but this is... You really think you don't run a hair? Foolish. The thief had snatched a rather important shipment as an honor to the child's lord. She received the command to capture the thief a whole 2 hours after she'd already made up the shipment, but it took her less than 30 minutes to catch up to him. The backstreets of Hong Yuan teems with a chaotic jumble of buildings. To a heisha like herself who roamed his alleys nightly and fought in every corner of the district, it was easy to anticipate the thief's escape route. So the amount of worm is still intact. There was a long and fat, worm-like creature writhing in the thief's palm. It was a truly hideous thing, the surface slick and its body wriggling in unnatural and unpleasant motion. But that wasn't the worst of it. The worst of it was its face. Its features are arranged like those of a human face, yet its sallow flesh hangs loose, its hollow eyes staring into this void, a monstrosity. Yet the thief was holding this hideous thing as if it was the most precious thing in the world. It was Kufu had here now and now for stealing a Namno worm made from a noble one. People from different regions, like the west or the south, might wonder what the purpose of this curious monstrosity might be. But a Namno worm isn't like any other grub. Anyone can gain the memories of the person who was used to make the grub by inserting it into their body. And even once they've been mutated into this worm-like form, they're counted as people, not tools. His particular Namno worm, currently held in the thief's palm, was created from someone from high prestige in Hong Yuan with deep knowledge of the secrets of the family. Various familial secrets of the lore were preserved within it in the form of a memory. So letting a hostile candidate from a rival family obtain this Namno worm would give a Namno worm, would amount to giving them a significant intelligence advantage. So what motivated you to steal the worm? Despite the thief's grave crimes, the child decided to ask what drove him to steal the worm. Not out of pity, of course. She was simply carrying out the will of her lord. Perhaps the thief saw the slimmest chance for life through the child's cold words? He dropped his knees and began to share a tearful tale of his own. I only need some money, that was all. One of the other families approached me first, offering me enough riches to live the rest of my life without concern as long as I brought this to them. Please, I had no choice but to accept the offer. My brother is very sick and with her old age. You lie. Take me, a beast of the high show pack, for a fool. Your sick and old mother died 3 years ago. How do you already know so much about me? Now the truth. Well, let's give you a way out of this hole you've dug yourself into. No, the path is extremely narrow. Should you lie any further? The thief hesitated for a long time, sensing he was likely walking on very thin ice. I was tired of and scared of waiting for the restructuring days to come, and I might tumble down a hole I could never come back from. The buildings within Hong Yuan shift after every set interval. The process is called restructuring, redistribution of living spaces based on each individual's net worth. The poor are fated to live in their ever-shrinking homes, feeling unsafe even when they should feel the safest. It's unfortunate, yes, but to the child, the beast of the high show pack, it mattered very little. So it's greed after all. That's all there was to it. I have nothing more to discuss. Take a single step, or if I see signs of your heels transforming, I'm sending the amount of worm into my ear. It's a death wish. No reason to faint of heart besides. It's stop! We've talked enough. The sword hanging from the child's back bit the shimmer with a sinister glow. The glyphs were inscribed on the sword using Q-Corp's technology, and activating bestow power when a specific trigger is met. If his mission, the condition was the Namno worm, thief refusing her lord's mercy. The child unsheathed her sword as her feet began to crackle and twist, transforming to digitigrade limbs, striking similar to those of a hare. Standing on her toes alone, she braces to lunge at the thief. At this point, he realized that his efforts were most likely for nothing. In the last-ditch effort, he leaped backwards and, damn it! Hurriedly shoved the Namno worm into his ear. Transferring the Namno worm into your body, but I can get it back fully as long as I cut it down immediately. Seem to have missed that part. The child, who leaped forward in an explosive burst of speed and killed the thief before he even had a chance to let out his final cry. Normally, if one lingers too much after inserting the Namno worm into their body, the grub would assimilate with the host, unable to be removed until the conditions prescribed upon its creations are met. But the child managed to retrieve it, without much trouble, by killing a thief before the assimilation began. My next mission? The night is yet young for the child. There were more missions for her on the horizon. To live in Hong Yuan is to be mired in a constant vortex of dark conspiracies and battles. And as the beast of the high show pack, the child would have no rest and continue to hop between mission after mission bestowed upon her by her lord. We yapping the fuck out today. And we'll finally get Marioshu. SHH. I doubt you're telling me to shush. Haven't I told you that contractions cause communication difficulties? Let's say secret hand over here. The child sighed deeply, frustrated at the other's lack of comprehension, and tossed a small piece of dry bamboo squirrel at them. He was letting me scroll on the squirrel with a brush. An excitement, I see. Summarize it for me. I don't doubt it's anything more than another mindless slaughter. What's that? Perhaps the child's behavior is already infamous among them. The other pieces of this high show pack has never met this child before, but they don't seem at all surprised by the child's apparent extra mission obsession with finding entertainment in assassinations. fact, they appeared rather fascinated as the child continues to draw something on her own bamboo scroll. None of your business. The high show goes back to reading the mission scroll without question. Sounds accord. While the other one reads and summarizes the mission scroll, let's see what this child is writing. How unbelievably dull. It's somehow more entertaining to write a record about myself. No one will be reading this art, but one day perhaps my future self shall read it to look back and reminisce. Let's describe the stage. I'm surrounded by a mountain of bodies, covered in everything around me, marred and gory. Scarred by cuts, drowned in guts. That rhymes. What? Nothing. I should make a record of this before my memory goes faint. Yes, suddenly one moment, I become a beast. So there were moments lost to the thought that could have been radiant masterpieces, yet all been burned away to my chagrin. And I have memories of having inserted Lord once. Not like this, maybe. I don't care about my Grand Lord anyway. Well, like always, the only charge is the hand that holds the leash. Only fall off the dark of the leash and cut down whomever, or whatever, lies in that path. Now today, and while the mission scroll won't have anything new, my only joy scavenged from the ephemeral moments of blossom no more. Ah, yes, I remember testing my strength against the different beasts of the high show as well. There are 11 more branches of the high show faster than us hairs, after all. Perhaps my present lord was in conflict with another, not that I'm complaining. I love for the lord to keep making new enemies like a little bitch. It's helping me a scintilla of joy. I wonder, if my current lord feuds with my former lord? It would also make for a tireless cliche, but the first hand could also. Hey, you're intent on ruining my fun tonight. This better be important. The child glared at the other beasts as though she was ready to stab him with her brush, but they only returned her a cold glare, wagging the mission scroll in her face. Time to happen our next job, that's all. The child wished to record a scene of her fights, perhaps. As beasts of the high show pack, no need for unnecessary recollections, they're always going to wither away at any moment. Never the time to write anything at all was a luxury the bishops could not provide. Beasts of the high show pack are here! They said the male branch! I'm going to get a first-hand account this time. Her eyes widen slightly, becoming oval-shaped. Then her lips curl upward, noticing something that caught her interest. You're wearing a nice fabric. Have I seen it somewhere before? Ah! Wait, you! Me? Get your shit together! We're hairs! We don't ask each other questions. We don't wear each other as heights. But once called to a mission, we gather and become a husk of hairs. Together we complete the mission and scatter once again. Damn it, if only I thought I shall packs of my own! I should have made that stupid bet! I should have wagered my own beast! The mouth branch was mine! She had a brief cry of what sounded like joy, realizing what it had been that had tickling her mind this whole time. I remember now, from my passing memory. So maybe this was one of my past lords. This cliche is playing it a bit too safe. Wait! If we know each other! No, she doesn't. Dark crawled toward the child, about to plead her defeat, but the other beast stepped in. They knew that the child wasn't stupid enough to jeopardize the mission, but a high show has the line they mustn't cross. We don't need to know, no, sure we know who you are. But beasts are fur, black smooth. We don't remember the faces of those who must be forgotten. Yes, of course. Striking the child does not appear to be upset by this sudden interjection, which appears rather content by this turn of events. Yes, so that's what it's been building into. We splatter before we scatter. She'd see already. The cliched scene rising to its climax with one liner for her to finish off the scene. Never should have trusted the beast that has black fur, right? That's why she laughs with such joy. I've lost my Ryoshu voice. I don't know what my Ryoshu voice is supposed to be. Again, I'll figure out all of my stuff between episodes, but oh wait, I totally have. Yeah. Ah well. Ah, there we go. That helped me out. Yeah, bunch of tickets will be nice. The whatever Walpurgis. Let's pop in our Walpurgis. Grab you. And I guess Otis, I think is better. Well, these green lights still green. Another unexpected alarm. Oh, we all react with the same measure of astonishment as we'd all grown rather used to the randomness of it all. As I look that is completely invaded with the influence of distorted singularity. However, it can be said that this partial retention of color could be attributed to the fact that Walpurgis Night is a transitory moment in which numerous possibilities coincide. Makes sense? Fast nonchalantly walking up to the driver's seat and shutting off the alarm. No, 'tis returned! This, well, but whatever night. Don Quixote in her eyes that began twinkling the smallest bit of diversion after another long period of idle standby. It's all just become a part of the routine. Even mysterious things like these Walpurgis nights. Additional volatility aside from the wallpaper tonight has been detected. Additional volatility? Indeed. There's two new mirrors on it. Oh yeah, that. Heathcliff mutters quietly as he rises from his seat. I thought it was about time another one popped up. And every time we go through the bloody ring. Expect to appear with the green flashes though. Heathcliff lightly struck the end of his club against the floor in visible anticipation. The word that was once engraved into his club had changed. A few days ago, I saw him sitting at the back of the bus, busily sanding and carving something into his club. I didn't have to ask to know what he meant by that new word, so I decided not to bring it up to anyone else. Only Heathcliff and I retained that memory after all. I was going mad from tedium. I was smashing swords! Oh, nice. I like to use my initiative from the sinners. Miss Faust? Indeed, let us move without delay. Dante, bring us to the corridor past the back door. Got it. Trying my best to shake off this uncomfortable feeling that Heathcliff's newfound enthusiasm didn't come off as entirely optimistic, I led the sinners to the back door. Two types of door at once, huh? Two new sets of doors, just as far as I predicted. One set of doors was, as I expected, two metal doors resonant with the sound of weathering gusts and new mirror village. The other set of doors was those papers. It's all sparkly. It's not a familiar door, radiating with an odd gleam of light. Technically, we did see the weird radio frequency, like squiggly lines around the door before, but everything else about it was new. I guess this one doesn't connect to the Limbus Corporation like last time. Weird. Is that jazz? Oh, it's even a door. It's not like a window with a door in it. Right. This new entrance definitely resembled a large window rather than a door. The window was blurry, and all I could see past it were some clouds of shapes moving around. There appeared to be several shambling entities past the entrance. Faust seemed to have realized something, but she didn't tell us what it was. Instead, she merely looked in my direction without saying a word. I'm starting to get what she means by that look. So I have to go in there to see what this is all about, right, Faust? You're experiencing regular growth and capabilities. Faust considers this to be a positive development. Yeah. A field of green and a wall of tall, great trees appeared before us as we entered the door. At this point, it'll take a bit more than this to surprise me. So nice to have our colors back for once, huh? Quiet, there's an abnormality. Things were what we saw past the window earlier? They're yet to be discovered. Recommend that we prepare for combat, manager. I didn't even need to tell the sinners what they were. It's pretty clear from the get-go that we'd be fighting an abnormality. The sinners all stood ready to charge into battle at my command. But it's a bit different this time. I'm starting to get a hang of this Walpurgis night thing, and please do continue. I think something different about these abnormalities. Can you explain why? Considering the attribute of our abnormalities, every encounter with an abnormality will be equivalent to an encounter with a summoned entity. Nevertheless, there exists a certain degree of difference when we encounter them in a refreshing railway or a mirror dungeon. And that is to say, we enter a site once known as the library, a low building that inexplicably appeared above the former L Corp headquarters. And this exact location is said to be a space that exists within a book in which the abnormality resides. The library? I've never heard the term before. Some sinners talked about it, that's for sure. Quite. This space is fairly distinct from the containment units but witnessed the four of branches. It appears as though an ideal habit has been established precisely for the abnormality's residence. A rather striking difference with the very limited space and unaccommodating environment provided by the containment units. Yes, you may compare the place to a terrarium. The abnormality inhabiting the space has transformed its environment to a form most suitable for its dwelling. Here are some comparisons that may make it easier for one to comprehend. A fish would fill the space with water, and a worm would fill the space with soil. Gosh, as long as the abnormality exists within this book, and Dex plays out with whatever it fancies, huh? Or I could say that an abnormality, once inside the confines of the defaulted terms, can rebuild its environment to fit its needs. It's kind of like free Alton, huh? That's one. Don Quixote, who was standing rather far from the group, who was made aware of these revelations only after Merceau had relayed them to her. Book? Oh, Journey hath brought us inside a book, thou sayest! The library of legend that betters than mirage for truth! Suddenly blew up with explosive enthusiasm once again. A library of the future defense channels. We're detective executive manager. Let's get this over with first. Hi there, Fairy Queen. We have 99 turns. Click some bleed count. Does bleed. Heals itself. If you've done the... fuck it. If you've done the battle for... if you've done the battle in the library, then you know the gimmick of this fight. Assistant Librarian of History, with a skill slot, extra SP at turn start, and double on all your statuses. We'll do that. Sure. Yeah, it's fine. Took a little bit to think. Do we want John to actually win this? The answer is yes. That's fine. The... what was for this one? Let's see. Actually... I don't know where my phone is. Oh, there it is. I'm just gonna double check exactly what was all included in this Walpurgis. Because I do not actually know. So we'll now have to look that up as we do this. I mean, first we gotta, you know, kill all these. Obviously. But let's see. This one was... Oh, this one was Dawn Off of Sinclair as well. Dawn Off of Sinclair, as well as the Wingbeat and Sanguine Desire egos. Wingbeat, Ishmael, Sanguine Desire for Roja. But let's go figure. Well. 15 down on everything. This game is very red. As well as 15 fragile. Honestly, I'm just gonna take the hits. Are these severable? They are destructible, not severable. Which means we can just go all out on the damage. Yeah. Just laser everyone. Thank you, Dawn. Oh. Not fit. Well, okay. It is technically 15, but it was 5 fragile on every part. Still not exactly the same. And that, we just gotta beat up this fairy mass, which we'll do with that. God, that is a menacing picture. It just has a certain aura about it. It's like, doesn't feel correct, but well, that's how it do be. Oh, that's why I was like, why does that look lower? Because it is. And we'll do that, and buff you. It's on a slave. Yeah, you lasered that random fairy. Need to make sure it didn't survive. God damn. Our sinking's still is still very good. For not being... Oh wait, it's because the thing, yeah. Honestly, we're still just gonna leave it. I don't even have prepared me. You fucking idiot. But we'll just go all out. You know what? We can destroy its arms too. We can cripple it. Crippling things is fun. Do take that out of context, please. I would highly appreciate it. God damn. Anytime you can raise sinking count is a good time. Body staggered. And suppressed. Well, not really suppressed, but it wasn't. Faust explains that we find ourselves in the library's past. We're participating in a certain repeated battle within the library, so we're supposed to change something called the realization of the floor of history. I don't understand most of what you said. Floor of history, huh? Are the floors too? That appears to be the case, yes. Can we extrapolate from the collected intelligence that the library is, like some normal libraries, composed of several floors divided by subjects such as literature or religion. Doesn't sound too different from your average library, but I doubt it's that straightforward. Anything more you can tell us about the library, Faust? Something more detailed? Faust's voice carries an air of troubled uncertainty. I'm starting to realize why. You don't know about it just yet, right? I said you've intuited a certain degree of truth, Dante. I don't suppose there's any more reason for me to remain evasive regarding this particular subject. Faust said a barely noticeable but clearly shocked gasp before regaining her usual calm demeanor. I'm yet to become a Faust who has access to that information. Yet to become. As your journey continues, I may also gradually gain recognition and access to further knowledge. One thing is certain, however. Faust regards this as this consistent, continuous improvement to be a positive development, Dante. See. It's like my journey is no greater than her knowledge, huh? Maybe that explains why she keeps falling silent in the middle of her lectures. I have no idea how long this journey will last for, but who knows, maybe we'll find ourselves at that library one day. With that, I return to the stairs, wandering about the scattered pages of the abnormality. Expected. But that will do it for this time. Next time, we'll move on to Time Killing Time, but until then, see you guys later.